Many people know that in Rome, the capital of Italy, there is a city called the Vatican, which is the smallest country in the world. But what is little known is that there is also another miniature country in the city of Rome, and she doesn't even have a basic territory. Coat of Arms of the Knights of Malta. This country is the Knights of the Sovereign Military Hospital of St. John of Jerusalem, Rhodes, and Malta, generally referred to as the Knights of Malta. They are observer members of the United Nations and have diplomatic relations with 104 countries or regions. Therefore, it has the status of a quasi-state. However, the Knights of Malta did not even have a territory of their own. There are only two buildings with extraterritoriality. The Palace of Malta is the official residence of the Grand Priest and the administrative center of the government, and the annex is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Knights of Malta. They are the Palace of Malta, a building covering an area of 12,000 square meters, located at number 68 Condodi Avenue in Rome, and the Malta Department on the Aventino Hill in the suburbs of Rome. Although the Knights of Malta is small, its history has thousands of years. In the Middle Ages, with the reforms of the Cluny Abbey and Pope Gregory VII, the Church developed and the faith of Western Europeans improved. Therefore, the pilgrimage to Jerusalem became the lifelong pursuit of many Christians. However, due to the long distance to the east, the harassment of other Muslim forces, and the increase in pilgrims after the Crusades, how to protect and take care of them has become a problem that the Church needs to consider. Therefore, the Knights came into being and became a special armed force in human history. It was not until 1120 that the Knights Hospitaller began to operate as a military order. In 1099, Gerald, aristocrat of the Principality of Burgundy, and his companions established a hospital near the Church of John the Baptist in Jerusalem to take care of patients who came here for pilgrimage and wounded soldiers of the Crusaders. The pilgrims were so moved by the care they received from the hospital, and their enthusiasm for their faith led to a large amount of money being donated to the organization. In 1120, the medical order with strong funds was transformed into a military order, and the Knights Hospitaller was established. They began to use force to protect the pilgrims and fight the Islamic forces. The Hospitaller order is only under the control of the Pope, and has many political and economic privileges. The highest officer of the Knights Order is the Grand Master, who has a priestly council and 8 judges to assist. Its members are divided into priests, knights and non-commissioned officers, as well as members or recipients. It was an important force in the East at that time, and was praised by King Baldwin III of Jerusalem for their exquisite medical skills, well-equipped, and pious faith. The classic image of the Knights of the Hospitaller in the era of the Crusades, beryl helmet, chain mail, black friar's robe. In 1187, the Knights of the Hospitaller were defeated by Saladin in the Battle of Harding, almost annihilating the whole army. Since then, they have been declining in Palestine. In 1291, Paul Baker, the Crusaders were driven out of Palestine. The Knights of the Hospitaller first went to Cyprus and then settled in Rhodes. Here they established a bridgehead to prevent the westward advance of Islamic forces. After the fall of Constantinople in 1453, the Ottoman Empire turned on Rhodes. But the Hospitallers fought bloody battles and defeated the Turks in 1480. The Knights Hospitaller fighting the Turkish army. In 1522, Suleiman the Great led an army of 200,000, one said 100,000, to attack Rhode Island, but the Knights of the Hospital held on for half a year with 7,000 troops. After paying a price of 50,000 people, the Turks reached an agreement with the Knights and allowed them to withdraw to Europe. In 1530, under the arrangement of Pope Clement VII and Holy Roman Emperor Charles V, the Knights Hospitaller entered the island of Malta. At this time, the Turks were expanding westward, preparing to seize command of the Mediterranean Sea. So the old enemies meet again. In 1565, they defeated the Turkish attack with heavy casualties. In 1571, the Turkish navy made a comeback, but they encountered the Holy Alliance fleet led by Spain. In the famous Lepanto naval battle, the Turkish navy was severely damaged, and it was no longer able to attack the west from the sea. The Battle of Lepanto marks the end of the age of galleys and the beginning of the era of sailed ships and guns. While Malta was preserved, the Knights Hospitaller gained the opportunity to continue to develop and became an important force in the Mediterranean. At the end of the 18th century, Napoleon occupied the island of Malta and looted all the properties of the Knights Hospitaller. The members of the Knights were forced to wander around. Most of them went to Russia and received preferential treatment from Tsar Paul I, and the Tsar was elected as the Grand Master. Despite the loss of the island of Malta, the Knights Hospitaller remained a sovereign order. According to the Treaty of Amiens in 1802, the sovereign status of the Knights was recognized by Britain and France. Unable to return to Malta, they traveled to Rome in 1834, using the Palazzo Malta as their headquarters until today. This is why they have countries, but no territories. Today's Knights of Malta are world-renowned for their philanthropy. At present, the Knights Hospitaller is no longer engaged in military activities, but a world-renowned charitable organization. With the credo of guarding the faith and assisting the suffering, various charitable causes have been carried out around the world, and the humanitarian actions he has participated in have been supported and affirmed by the international community. Wu Zetian never dreamed that many years after her death, a man would propose a divorce from his wife because of her. There is a gentleman who is a little over 40 years old this year. He recently consulted a psychological teacher on how to divorce his wife without harming his children. The psychology teacher asked him why he divorced his wife. Unexpectedly, the reason he gave surprised the psychology teacher who had seen countless people. He said it was because of Wu Zetian. Wu Zetian died hundreds of years ago. How could she divorce his wife because of her? This gentleman is a college student majoring in finance, and now works in a bank. His wife is a white-collar worker in a middle-level and high-level position, and she is also pretty. They have a boy, who is in the 5th grade of elementary school. The gentleman said that his wife is obsessed with Wu Zetian, worships Wu Zetian, and studies Wu Zetian every day. She almost reads all the books, magazine articles, and movies about Wu Zetian on the market, and she is almost obsessed. In normal life, it is inevitable that she will imitate Wu Zetian's words and deeds, showing a bit of strength, whether it is towards her husband, children, or other people in the family. More or less people will think that she is too strong and difficult to get along with. After a long time, her husband couldn't take it anymore and wanted to divorce her, but he was afraid of hurting the child, so he asked a psychologist for help. Wu Zetian is the first female emperor in Chinese history. In terms of political strategy, she must have her superb ability. People who stand on different angles will have different analyses and evaluations. Ordinary people should not say too much. But as a woman and a mother, she killed her own son for the throne. Just because of this, I will not worship her. A woman who is too cruel is not as good as a lion or a tiger. It can be seen that she is not as good as an ordinary mother. How can she be friendly to other people? The psychology teacher said that people with Wu Zetian's personality are actually unhealthy and sick, a paranoid personality disorder. From the perspective of being a woman and a mother, it is not worthy of respect and admiration. She is just a passerby in the long river of history. In the final analysis, she is no different from others than us. When we study historical figures now, we should learn from their most worthwhile experience in life, and absorb the positive side of our thoughts and behaviors, and those failed experiences should warn us, not blindly without analysis and thinking. Blind worship. The psychology teacher did not give the man any advice on whether to divorce, but just told him that this was a matter between the husband and wife, and he had to make up his own mind. But from the child's point of view, it's not that you think it's good to be good to him. For the sake of the child, you endure the divorce and live a noisy life every day. The harm to the child may be even greater. Now the child is not fool, they will watch every move of adults. Seeing their parents like this, children will not feel happy and have no sense of security. A person can have his ideal idol or admirer, no matter whether this person is dead or still alive, he cannot become an existence that affects his real life. Once it affects his real family life, either he or you are sick, or you are driving others crazy, you should adjust in time and return to 3 meals a day. There is a saying that all history, except for the names of people who are true, is all false, and all novels, except for the names of people who are false, are actually all true. This sentence is very intriguing. A man asked a master, "What advice do you have for the world?" The master replied, "Life is too short, don't understand it too late." As the Swedish adage goes, we grow old too quickly and wise too slowly. No wonder the writer of Ecclesiastes wants our hearts to be set in the house of mourning, where we may learn wisdom. On the contrary, the heart of a fool is placed in the house of pleasure, and the result becomes more foolish. Many years ago, Lem Xiaoliang, the richest man in Indonesia, spent $1 million on a banquet at the Shangri-La Hotel in Singapore to celebrate the couple's wedding anniversary. One of the invited guests got into the car after the banquet, and his wife said sarcastically, "There are thousands of tables for banquets, and you can't afford one." The husband sarcastically said, "Because you are not worth my money to entertain and celebrate." The two argued along the way. They learned ignorance. On the contrary, if they are attending a funeral, on the way home, the wife says to her husband, "We are getting old. We must cherish the days we were together. Looking back on the past, being able to live with you is my happiness." The husband held his wife's hand tightly and said emotionally, "The greatest happiness in my life is to marry you and live with you. I only wish that death would separate us." The two of them learned wisdom. Similarly, sometimes a serious illness makes people deeply experience the fragility of life, or an accident makes people realize that life and death are so close. Every time I go to the hospital, whether it is to see a doctor by myself, to accompany my family to see a doctor, or to visit a sick relative or friend, when I walk into the ward and see all kinds of patients, especially their helpless and longing eyes, there is always a feeling. There is an indescribable emotion, sympathy for the sick, and rejoicing that I can still live a healthy life, and more or less will have new thinking about life. Those promotions and salary increases, family wealth, and high officials and rich salaries seem to be less important. The trivial matters in the family and the daily noise, what else is there to get through? Whenever I bid farewell to relatives and friends who have passed away, I can't help counting my own age. How many years have passed, and how many will there be in the future? I don't know. Compared with the lost life, everything that has nothing to do with living has become very light, not worth mentioning. Death forces us to contemplate life. Many people live a long life without actually living it. The ephemeral compels us to contemplate the eternity. Some people disappear completely in a short time. Some people step into eternity from a short time. It's a pity that when we were young, we didn't understand these truths, and lived in a muddle-headed way. When we had some stinging understanding, in the blink of an eye, the white hair has turned into white hair. Aging is so fast, but maturity is so slow, it even takes a lifetime. We are very grateful that we can still watch the situation in this world. We choose to do a small amount of beneficial things in a limited time, which is beneficial to our body and mind, our family, and others. We choose compassion and kindness, choose calmness and magnanimity, and live a more relaxed life. The past cannot be changed. The important thing is not to make mistakes again. Use the flow of time to wash away the past deeds. Focus on the sun, and be the sun of the light.